Today's episode is for the woman who is tired, but not just physically tired, mentally tired, emotionally stretched, carrying a lot, and yet, sis, you are still showing up. Hey, beautifuls, welcome back to Beautifully Well Conversations with your girl, Coach Nick, where self-care meets healthcare, and we make healthy living feel simple, realistic, and of course, a bit luxurious. So, if you've been feeling like your body is not responding the way it used to, your weight, sleep, mood, it's not just you. There's a whole tribe of us ladies going through this perimenopause, menopausal phase, and it is the stress of it all. So, today I'm giving you the 7-day stress reset. This is not about overwhelm. I'm not going to overwhelm you with this. We're going to focus on 3 things, 3 powerful shifts that will change how your body feels in just 1 week. So let's talk about this for a second. After 40, your body is more sensitive to stress. Cortisol, the stress hormone, is elevated longer. Estrogen, we all know this, girlies. The estrogen is fluctuating, going out of control. And because you've handled stress a certain way all of these years, your nervous system is working in overtime. And we're going to talk a lot about that. So what does this look like? How do you know that you are in stress overload? Well, you should feel it and see it. Number 1, it's that belly weight. Can y'all hear that? And y'all know I'm a health coach. I'm working on my health every day, all day. But I have to be honest when that's that belly fat, girlfriend. That's that belly fat. That belly weight that won't move. A clear indication of stress. Crazy sleep habits. You waking up. Are you in a 3 a.m. club? The 4 a.m. club? Which club are you in? Are you waking up and staying up, trying to figure out how to go back to sleep? And then let's talk about how you really feel emotionally. Overwhelmed by the time somebody asks you to do one more thing. So irritable that not only are you irritating the people around you, but there are some days you wake up irritated with you. You know it. And you know those days where you are tired of yourself. And let's take it a step further, though, and think about those cravings. So when stress is at an all-time high, what are you craving? What are you looking for? More carbs, more sugar. As a matter of fact, just depending on how strong those cravings are, could you even say that when you give in to these cravings, at some point, that what you decide to eat may even replace a meal? So no doubt there's this repeat and there's this cycle, and we can see it. So this isn't just about discipline, right? We're not waking up going, okay, today is the day that I'm going to change. This is not about waiting for this motivation to just like drop out of the sky somewhere. This is deeper than that because this is a nervous system response. And so how do you fix it? Well, clearly the way we're moving right now is not the way to fix it. The way to fix this is not to keep going, and figure it out as you go along. We have to reset. So let's talk about these 3 reset pillars, and I want you to refer to it as the reset, y'all. I know reset is a word that is trendy, is trending, like rejuvenation, revive, all that good stuff. But we're talking about what can you realistically do in 7 days to feel better? Because I know you want to feel better. Well, here's our first reset. We're going to regulate this nervous system. You've heard this before, but your body needs to calm it down. You're waking up anxious, struggling to focus. Even though you have a lot going on, for whatever reason, you like this idea of having this 22 things to do every day. More than half of them are not checked off. because of how cortisol works, because you have been stressing for so long and just moving with the flow, your body really is in fight or flight on a consistent basis. So really, your body thinks it's in danger. It's in fight mode. And that is the reason why it's holding on to weight. It's making it tough for you to sleep. And of course, let's talk about energy. By 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're probably ready to doze off. If you could just stop everything you're doing and take a nap to reset, I'm sure you would. So how can we keep this simple? What can we do? 5 minutes of deep breathing in the morning, y'all. Don't sleep on something so simple and free. 5 minutes of deep breathing. This is more than the breath work. This is about the place. This is about the area. This is about the environment. When you wake up first thing in the morning, maybe this means that in order for you to do this deep breathing for this reset as soon as the morning starts, you may have to wake up a little earlier than usual, before the noise, before the distractions, before the chaos. That might be a necessary thing, right? So first, 5 minutes of deep breathing in the morning. Find that area or that space. Another way to regulate the nervous system is that 10 to 20 minute walk. Oh, the weather is changing. Spring is coming. It will be happening soon. Can we get that walk to take place outside if possible, or dust off that Peloton and take the clothes off of it as well, right? It's no longer a towel rack. So now you're going to use it to get the 10 to 20 minutes of walking in, right? Because we have to retrain this nervous system, and we're doing this on a daily basis. We're going to reduce the noise. So this means that when we first wake up, we might not want to check the latest things happening on a gram, on a TikTok. Maybe we don't need to check LinkedIn and see who viewed our profile while we were asleep. So you're going to reduce that noise. You're going to decide what you're going to shut off for that moment. Now, you don't need 60 minutes of quiet continuously. Right? We're not saying you're already busy. Remember, I said these tips are not going to overwhelm you. We're talking about small incremental steps that you can take in order to regulate this nervous system. Now, y'all know I'm going to talk a little bit about sauna therapy because I just know the power of an infrared sauna therapy session, y'all. And I'll tell you, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes in that infrared sauna can literally have an amazing impact on the nervous system. So your body is not broken. It is overwhelmed like you are, girlfriend. So now let's keep it from screaming for relief and start soothing it. So you got it. Tip 1, we're going to regulate the nervous system with just a few small things, steps that you can take throughout this week. Each day, choose. What are you going to do? Now, we're going to have to talk about stabilizing our blood sugar. And this is for everyone. Pre-diabetes, type 2 diabetes, doesn't matter, y'all. Remember when we think about our blood sugar and why it is important for those who are not diagnosed with prediabetes or type 2 to think about your blood sugar numbers and elevation. I'm talking to women over 40, y'all. So you know, with the hormonal fluctuations, these changes, that it is not uncommon that it affects our blood sugar levels, the blood glucose. Women over 40 see a spike in prediabetes diagnoses. So we have to talk about blood sugar stabilization. That's tip 2. And we're talking about this either way because before a woman is even diagnosed with prediabetes, insulin resistance has to happen first. Insulin resistance happens when we are no longer regulating our blood sugar in a normal state, right? Where just things are fluctuating. and blood glucose is one of them. So how can we stabilize it? Because stress affects our blood sugar. Stress also, remember, it affects how we eat and what we eat. So for tip 2, no matter where you are in terms of your A1C, fasting glucose does not matter. What we're going to do is aim to eat within 1 to 2 hours of exercise. Within 1 to 2 hours of waking up. That window right there, and remember, these are suggestions. Let it fit where you are. But within those 1 to 2 hours of waking up, y'all, I still see breakfast as fuel. I still see breakfast like gas that gives the car the ability to move. You are the car, and food is the gas. It's the fuel. So within those 1 to 2 hours of waking up, remember, you just went to sleep. So you're going to break the fast, right? Your body has been resting. It's waiting for you to reload. It's waiting for those nourishment. Remember, it said within 1 to 2 hours that you're making sure that you're eating something, and it can be light. Prioritize your protein. We need it. We need our protein. On average, about 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal. Of course, check with your dietitian or nutritionist. Maybe you've been given other advice. But just based on a basic recommended daily allowances, we're talking about 20 to 30 grams per meal. And trying not to skip. Remember, we talked about that, but we know that for some of us, when we look at where we are in terms of our relationship with food, that could be a challenge area for us. And it's okay, because over the next 7 days, we aren't cracking the code on everything. We are just resetting our system so that we are in a place where it feels good to be able to reset and start thinking about all these things that we can do in terms of quick, nutrition hacks. Aiming not to skip the meals when we're stressed, even if it's just trying to nibble on a little something that's healthier. And we have to hydrate the body. We want to get that water in. We want to get, how many times can I say this, y'all? Hydration is so important. It's so important. We wouldn't skip a shower. We wouldn't skip a bath so that the outside of our body is nice and clean and refreshed. It's the same thing with water. We hydrate the body inside, internally. We give it a shower. The lungs love you. The liver loves you. The brain loves you. Your body loves you. Your heart loves you when you hydrate. So when blood sugar is all over the place, of course, it puts the body in survival mode. We don't need to be in survival mode. So we're going to turn survival mode off, because it's that mode that stores the fat. It's that mode that helps us to keep in that craving for sugar, major carbs, the least healthy carbs, and it keeps us tired. So tip 2, we're going to stabilize this blood sugar so that we're able to feel good again and reduce those cravings, get those cravings down. And your body wants you to do it. It's asking for the stability. And now tip 3, y'all ready for tip 3? Protect your peace. We're going to talk about sleep in this too, right? So that real luxury, the non-negotiable, is that element of peace. And I'm not just talking about, a day at the spa, or, well, y'all always know when I talk about self-care, it's way beyond, the nail appointment, the hair appointment. Self-care is what we do in between these doctor's appointments. But at the same time, this idea of peace, in order for peace to come, we have to first look at the boundaries that have to be in place in order for us to enjoy it. And these boundaries are not just with other people, because sometimes we go, oh my goodness, but if I could just get somebody else to help out and have her do that, if I could just get them to stop calling me to do X, Y, Z, I get all of that. But sis, sometimes the boundary is not the other people or those things. That boundary sometimes lies within that conversation that we have with ourselves. Let's think about that. Do you have a shutdown time? Does it exist? When you say, this is the period where I am doing nothing that looks like work. Now, I'm not even going to have a conversation that's going to stress me out. And you know about them stressed out conversations. You know, when you pick the phone up, who's on the other side of that phone, you already know, and you know where that conversation is going to lead you. So, this shutdown time is a time where your system, you are telling your body, it is now time to shift into the peace zone. So we're going to talk about sleep in this, right? So this focus is going to be the sleep in these boundaries, and why these boundaries matter. We also know that for many of us, we are nurturers. We are caregivers. You could be moms, you're a daughter, you could be a granddaughter, all these things. You could have heavy lifting going on at work, at home, in a household. You could be responsible for a lot of things. And those things weigh on you mentally and emotionally, and it becomes tough for you to shut down. So this shutdown and these boundaries, of course, only you can create them. But the beauty of these boundaries that you create, they're happening before the shutdown time. Because they are things that you are intentionally doing throughout the day so that when you go into shutdown, you don't have to revisit those things from earlier in the day. And trust me, this sounds like it could be tough to do, but over time, remember, we're taking 7 days to see how this thing works out. So set your shutdown time at night. What time are you going to bed anyway? And remember, when we're in a heightened stress zone, when cortisol levels are at an all-time high, we might not be able to just jump in a bed and go to sleep. We may need to tell our bodies at least an hour, for some of us, maybe even 2 hours, that look, I got to turn this running to-do list off in my head. That's running like Niagara Falls. I need to turn this off. And it's going to take maybe an hour to 2 hours to get there. So my shutdown time has to start at 7:30 or 8 p.m., meaning I've set a boundary so that my body can get ready for relaxation. So you have to limit who has access to your energy, y'all. I'm all about the energy, y'all. Energy is not BGE. It's not your gas and electric bill. Energy is your capacity. How much can you handle and hold on to? Know what it is so that you can set it. Now, what about this shutdown time? How do you wind it down? How do you get yourself ready for this? A quiet space, a dimly lit space. Gratitude. Have that moment of gratitude for the day, y'all, especially if you're heavy lifting. You got a lot going on. It can be hard to turn down the noise, but I'm telling you, sometimes when we have a lot going on, we miss opportunities to be grateful. We miss opportunities that spark joy because we're loaded down in the heaviness of the day. But what's so important at the end of every day, no matter how stressed out it's been, is to be able to lock in and find a space for gratitude. So your shutdown time could include just a moment of graciousness, right? And then keeping in mind that this shutdown time, reclaiming your peace, and we have a major focus here on the sleep effect, that the big goal of this is to make it so that you're able to start positioning yourself for better sleep, the sleep care, right? Because it is not optional. And without sleep, our bodies will not rejuvenate and heal properly. It will not. It will continue in a fight or flight mode. I don't care how much broccoli you eat. Exercise is powerful and amazing, and you can get that down pat. But if you have not told yourself that you are deserving of boundaries, if you are not telling yourself that you're deserving of good sleep, if you are not reminding yourself of the importance of being able to find a level of calm that blocks out the noise, then it will be really hard to reach your full potential in every aspect of your health, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual as well. So we can't be in the same environment stressing us out and expecting things to eventually evolve to the good. We have to change the environment, and we can. We don't have to move. We don't need to contact a relative for a new place. We don't have to think about fleeing to another country. We don't have to do those things, right? Because we are the environment. You are the environment. Those small tweaks to your environment those boundaries that you set, identifying the things that are stressing you out, and giving yourself a chance to take 7 days to really build up some self-awareness, y'all. I'm telling you, you would be surprised what 7 days can do. And that's why we call it the reset. So are you in? Pick your 7 days. It's the beginning of a new month. It's the beginning of a brand new week. Your simple reset plan without the overwhelm over the next 7 days should first help you calm your body daily. Go back and rewind this about those breathing techniques and the importance of movement. The second thing that's super important, y'all, is nourishment. At the end of the day, food is fuel, and we want to make sure that we're eating to stabilize this new reset, this movement. Remember some of those tips, rewind it back. We're not skipping meals if at all possible. And number 3 is last but certainly not least, you're going to protect your peace like you do money in a bank. That's it. Keep it simple. We're looking for consistency here. No overwhelm, consistency. And at the same time, you want to feel the effects as soon as possible, right? You want 7 days, by the end of these 7 days, for you to feel like, woo, I got a little bit of what I need. And you may just decide to put this on repeat. If you're listening to this and you're like, I need support with this, this is exactly why we created Club Beautiful. It is a space for women over 40 to reset their health, their habits, and honestly, their life, y'all, because health is life. Because healthy is beautiful, you deserve to feel that. So click at the end of this podcast. You'll see the link to join us at Club Beautiful. It is our no-cost online safe space for women to feel good about this process and, of course, enjoy some tips from your girl, Coach Nick. So as we wind down this beautifully well conversation, this is your reminder that you don't have to do everything. You just have to decide to do the right things consistently. Those small little tweaks. So I'll see you in the next episode. And until then, y'all know the saying, live beautifully well.